What's up, YouTube? Oh, my voice cracked. Oh, no. Anyway, what's up, YouTube? So, no random Tuesday thoughts today. I don't really have any random thoughts, surprisingly. I know, right? My beard is long. So today, if you haven't guessed by the title, and that's probably why you clicked, we're going to talk about the 2017 United States National Yo-Yo Competition. It happened over this weekend, I watched a good bit of it, and just figured I'd give you my sort of thoughts, comments, and all that on it. So just for starters, everybody really brought it. Everybody was really good at Worlds, and a lot of the same guys did really well and were put up really good freestyles at Nationals this year. But I kind of feel like everybody kind of tightened it up a little bit for Nats. Like it looked a lot cleaner, and I'll talk about that more specifically. But couple interesting points to sort of get out of the way that I noticed. First, it was great to see Josh Yee up there and competing, and congrats to Josh on his 5A national title. So congrats to Josh on that. And for those of you who don't know, Josh had some medical problems this year. I don't think it's a secret or anything. It was all, he kind of posted about it a good bit, kept us updated on his condition and whatnot. But he seems to be well on his way on the road to recovery. So really, really nice to see Josh up there doing his thing. Looking like he's looking like he's well on the road to recovery, at least well enough to win a 5A national title, to win a 5A title nationally, right? So huge congrats to Josh, and it was good to see him up there, and I'm glad he's doing better. I really am, and it was nice to see it. It made me happy, warmed my heart to see him up there and competing as well as he did. So congrats to him, and it's good to see that he's doing better. I was happy to see that. The other thing that I thought was kind of interesting, Nate Daly snapped a string in the middle, like whoosh. It was I'll show you where he did it. It was like sort of pink strings, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Anyway, it was like here. So like the yo-yo went phew, and there was like a piece of string on his finger still that was like dangly, but like totally snapped a string. I've never done that, but I think what happened was he probably got a knot and he pulled it too tight, and the friction was heated up the polyester string enough, and snapped it right at the point of like the knot coming together. Snapped. I think that's probably what happened. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Otherwise, maybe there was already like a little snag or cut in the string or something that he didn't notice. But tough luck for Nate Daly there for snapping the string. Otherwise, I thought he played really well. But you know, everybody was just so tight that like one little thing like that kind of knocks you down a little bit. So that's unfortunate for Nate. I've never actually seen that happen. I've watched a lot of like freestyles lately, especially in the last year or so. I've never actually seen that happen. At least not lately with the polyester string and whatnot. It seems like everybody's using a new string but it happened. So anyway, so tough luck on that, but it was kind of an interesting thing to see. It made a terrible sound when the yo-yo hit the ground. It was like a ping. I was like, oh, everybody cringed. I was watching the live stream and everybody in the chat was like, oh god, that sound. But it was unfortunate to see, but still kind of a weird episode because it happened. And I was like, whoa, I didn't expect to see somebody snap a string in the middle. So that totally happened. And tough luck to Nate on that. But I guess that's just how it goes. That's why doing it live is so unpredictable. Let's talk about the top three 1A guys. Everybody who was in finals looked really good. Routines looked really clean. And they were, you guys, much better than I could ever hope to be. But I'm an old man and they're young guys who are just, in their prime. I'm an old man, I'm slow. But let's talk about number three, my buddy, my man, Michael Furtico. Bird pulled off a number three spot there. Probably the cleanest I've seen him pull off that routine. His final boss routine, as he would call it, is basically, it's three separate chunks. It's like 3 phases of a boss fight, and I just like the concept of that. I think it's really cool. I was a World of Warcraft player for a really long time, and the concept of stages within a boss fight is really cool. And what he did was great. That was probably the cleanest that he's ever pulled it off, I think. And it looked really good. And being able to nail that number 3 was well deserved. He absolutely is, in my opinion, one of the top 3 in America for sure. And he absolutely proved it at Nationals this year. So huge congrats to Michael Furtico. I'm a big fan. I like the way he plays yo-yo. It's very fun to watch. He's fun to watch, and he looks like he's having a good time while he's doing it. So huge shout out to Bird. If you watch this, Bird, maybe you will. But congrats, buddy. And look, it was great. Killer. Nailed it. Well deserved. Well deserved. Top 3 finish for Michael Furtico. Number 2 was Gentry. I thought Gentry looked good. I thought he looked better at Nats than he did at Worlds. I thought he was cleaner, and it looked like he was having more fun with it. Jet lag or something. I don't know. It's got to be tough to fly all the way over to Europe or something, and then traveling kind of sucks and all that stuff. And that's a long way. So everybody kind of looked a little more refreshed and a little more at home on the national stage, I thought, and I think Gentry really kind of looked a lot more at home on the national stage than he did on the world stage. And I think Chico's his hometown. I think he's from Chico. I don't know if he lives there now, but man, he was clean. Very well. He played very well. I kind of like that routine. I don't know if I like it as much as some of his older routines, but I kind of like that routine pretty well. He used the shutter wide angle as well, I saw. At least I read. I can't really tell the difference between the two of them on a live stream, but he used the shutter wide angle. Looked like he was looked like it performed pretty solidly for him. So I thought Gentry did really well. It looked really clean. And it looked like he stepped it up a little bit from Worlds, which is always, you want to be better every time. So I think he pulled that off, and that was really good for him. It was fun to watch. Looked like he was having fun doing it. So well deserved, runner-up title for him. I know he's won nationals quite a few times. Won it last year, but I think he put up a good showing this year as well. So that was good to watch. And if once these come up, I think you can go back and watch the live stream. I watched Lorenzo Cubing's live stream of it, and he did a great job live streaming it. But if you go back and click through the live stream, you should be able to watch all these. But I thought Gentry did great. It was fun to watch. And without further ado, you got to talk about the guy that won the whole friggin' thing, Evan Nagao. Man, I thought Evan looked good. So for the last year, Evan's routines have been really good, and they've been fun to watch, but at least from my perspective, at least for the last year, it's always looked like the string he was using was too long, and I think it maybe made the routines look a little sloppy. Now, I don't know if he just cleaned it up or if he cuts his string a little bit more now or something, but that was the tightest and cleanest I've ever seen one of his routines. And his routines are hard. There's a lot of pops, and he was tight and he was clean, and it was, I was kind of between Bird and Gentry. I was I don't know. They both did really well. Everybody looked clean. And then I saw Evan. I was oh my god. Well, I guess Gentry was last. But once I saw Evan, I was Evan might have just won. I called before the announcements or anything. I was Bird, Gentry, Evan, top 3. I'm not good enough to be able to assume which order they would be in. But those to me seemed like the cleanest and the best routines, at least at the finals. And sure enough, 1, 2, 3. Evan, like I said, Evan was really clean, and for him to be that clean, usually not a way. I usually don't see Evan's routines. They're more flash and flare, and they're not as clean. This had all the flash and flare that he usually has, and was probably the cleanest routine I've ever seen him do, and was probably one of the cleanest routines of the night, to be honest. So huge congrats to Evan Nagao. I don't know if he's ever watched my videos or if he does, but I'm a fan of his routines. I think he does a good job, and I think I think that was the best thing. I think that was the best routine he's ever done, at least from my perspective. I think he killed it, and congrats to him, because he very much deserved that win at Nationals, and man, that was good. That was for a guy who was already really good, who was already putting up good routines, really stepped it up, and it was fun to watch, and he really killed it. So very cool for that. So what a good Nationals it was. What a good viewing it was. It was some good entertainment. I enjoyed it. Luckily, I was on editing a video while the finals were going on, so I could watch that. It was great. It was on at a perfect time. I like when contests happen in America, personally, because I don't have to go back and watch it, and they're not on at weird times, and it's for me. And that's a selfish thing, I know. There's yo-yoers all over the world. But finals was on. It was like, 10 o'clock at night. Everybody was already in bed. It was a Saturday. It was great. So I got to stay up. I was editing a video for Sunday. Had a couple beers. It was great. Watched the game. Watched the Yo-Yo Contest. MMA was on as well, which was fun. But that'll be the last one in Chico. And they're going to change the Nationals format here coming up next year. Just wanted to touch on that a little bit before we end the video. Nats this year did not provide a world seed. So no world seed for Evan or for Gentry or for Bird. That was purely for the national title. And they killed it. They brought it hard. But the World National Yoyo Competition 2018, I believe, is going to happen in May in Chicago, Illinois. I don't think any final dates are set or any locations, at least none that's been announced that I've seen. But if they have been, tell me down in the video. Even if it's late, even if you're watching this like in February of next year, tell me down in the comments when Nationals is, because maybe I don't know. Even after it's been announced, maybe I don't know. But if you leave it in the comments, I'll know, probably, if I get the notification. As far as it being in Chico this year, I know a lot of people complained with how far Chico is. And I think it's cool that it's in Chico, because Chico's sort of like, that's where the National Yoyo Museum is and all that stuff. But Chico is not an easy place to get to. They don't have an airport. I mean, I guess they do. They have a tiny one, but there's no airport, so you have to fly into like Sacramento and then drive. And that kind of makes it tough, really, to anybody on this side of the country. I live in Pittsburgh, if nobody can tell, because I've only said it in every freaking video. And for me to go to Chico would just be like, I'd have to fly there, so I have to buy a plane ticket, and then I'd have to rent a car after I was there, drive, whatever it was, an hour from wherever I flew, hour plus wherever I flew into Chico, stay, and it's expensive to stay over there. It's expensive to stay in California. I mean, not that it's cheap to stay in Chicago, but it's expensive to stay in California. And, stay, and then drive back up, fly back, just it's a lot of hassle. So, I know there's guys that flew out to compete, and that's good, but I kind of feel like, it was, I feel like the change is going to be really good. Putting it in Chicago earlier in the year and putting a world seed attached to the national title is absolutely, I think a good move overall for everybody, for all yo-yoers, all yo-yoers in America. I think that's a good move overall. Chicago's great, centralized city, lots of airports, lots of places to stay. It's very much going to facilitate a bigger event than having to have it in Chico. Not that having a yo-yo contest in Chico, where the National Yo-Yo Museum isn't a cool thing, but I think that having it in Chicago and more centralized locations is going to work out much better, and I am very excited to see it grow, and that I don't even have to wait a whole year for it. It's going to be like 6 months from now, or 7 months from now. So that's really cool. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, so that's my thoughts on the 2017 National Yo-Yo Contest. Again, huge congratulations to everybody who went out there and showed their stuff. You guys were all great. I watched most of the live stream. I kind of watched it on and off a little bit all evening, and then totally was glued to it for finals. So everybody did great. Congratulations to all the winners. and looking forward to seeing everybody do it again for Nationals 2018 in Chicago. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. I do yo-yo stuff and content and talk about yo-yos and all that jazz just about every day. So make sure you leave me a comment, make sure you leave me a like, and make sure you hit that subscribe button because that helps me. But thanks so much, guys. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.